There are towns in America that don't exist anymore, not abandoned, erased, wiped completely off the map on purpose. Coming up, a town that only reappears when the lake dries up. A place the government evacuated overnight because the ground itself was poisoned. 4 whole towns drowned to give another city a drink of water, and an ancient site older than the pyramids gone in a single afternoon. 10 places in America wiped off the map. Let's get into it.
Number 10. Kennett, California. Kennett was a booming copper town in Northern California. Thousands of people, hotels, saloons, a school. Then, in the 1940s, the government started building Shasta Dam. The reservoir behind it was going to fill the entire valley, and Kennett was sitting right at the bottom of it. So, the town was cleared out and left to drown. Today, Kennett is under the waters of Lake Shasta. When the lake drops in a drought, old foundations rise back out of the water, like the town is trying to come back. Number 9. St. Thomas, Nevada. St. Thomas was a small Mormon farming town settled in the 1800s. Peaceful place, good soil. Then they built the Hoover Dam. The rising waters of Lake Mead crept toward the town for years. In 1938, the last resident reportedly rowed away from his own house in a boat as the water came up through the floorboards. St. Thomas vanished under 60 feet of lake. But here's the strange part. As Lake Mead shrinks from drought, St. Thomas keeps rising back up. Cracked foundations, old walls, a ghost town returning from the dead. Number 8. Klamath, California. Klamath was a thriving town on the northern California coast, right on the river. Then came Christmas 1964. A 1,000-year flood hit the region. A massive landslide dammed the river upstream, then let go all at once, sending a wall of water down onto the town. When it was over, Klamath, a town of 850 people, had been scraped right off the landscape. The buildings were simply gone. They rebuilt on higher ground, but the original Klamath was erased in a single night. Number 7. Neversink, New York. Neversink was a quiet town in the Catskills, with homes, farms, and a couple hundred years of history. The problem was that 8 million people downstate in New York City needed drinking water, and Neversink was sitting in the perfect valley for a reservoir. So, in the 1950s, the state took the town by eminent domain, moved the residents out, relocated the graves, and flooded the valley. Now, when New Yorkers pour a glass of tap water, some of it is sitting where an entire town used to be. Number 6. Butler, Tennessee. They call Butler the town that wouldn't drown. In the 1940s, the TVA decided to build a dam that would flood the whole valley Butler sat in. But the people of Butler refused to just disappear, so they did something remarkable. They picked up the town and moved it, building by building, family by family, to higher ground nearby. The old Butler went under the water, but a new Butler survived right above it. And on clear days, people say you can still see the old town's road disappearing down into the lake. Number 5. Loyston, Tennessee. Loyston has a specific place in history. It was one of the very first towns erased by the Tennessee Valley Authority. When the TVA built Norris Dam in the 1930s, it displaced more than 3,000 families across 1 million acres. Loyston was ground zero. The churches, the school, the stores, all cleared and flooded. Over 2,000 graves had to be dug up and moved. Loyston became the blueprint for how America would erase dozens of towns to come.
Number 4. Celilo Falls, Oregon. This one is different because what was lost here was ancient. Celilo Falls was a thundering waterfall on the Columbia River, and for over 10,000 years, native peoples had gathered there to fish for salmon. It's considered one of the oldest continuously inhabited sites in North America, older than the pyramids. Then, in 1957, they opened the Dalles Dam. In a matter of hours, the rising water silenced the falls completely. Elders who were there said the roar of Celilo Falls simply stopped, and a way of life that had lasted 100 centuries was gone by the afternoon. Number 3. Elbowoods, North Dakota. Elbowoods was the heart of the Fort Berthold Reservation, home to 3 affiliated tribes. It had a hospital, a school, farms along the river. Then the government built the Garrison Dam in the 1950s. The reservoir flooded the best land on the entire reservation, and Elbowoods with it. The community was scattered, the hospital was lost, families who had farmed that river bottom for generations were pushed up onto dry, difficult land. An entire tribal town went under the water, and it never came back. Number 2. The Quabbin Towns, Massachusetts. This isn't one town, it's 4: Dana, Enfield, Greenwich, Prescott. In the 1930s, Boston needed a massive new water supply, so the state chose the Swift River Valley and simply voted 4 entire towns out of existence. On the last night, the residents held a farewell ball. At midnight, the band stopped playing and the towns officially ceased to exist. Then the valley was cleared, the graves moved, and the water let in. Today, the Quabbin Reservoir is calm and beautiful, and 4 towns lie silent at the bottom of it. And number 1. Times Beach, Missouri. Times Beach was a normal town of over 2,000 people near St. Louis. Nothing unusual about it, except the roads were dusty. So, in the 1970s, the town hired a contractor to spray waste oil on the dirt roads to keep the dust down. What nobody knew was that the oil was mixed with dioxin, one of the most toxic chemicals ever made. The whole town had been coated in it for years. When the truth came out in the 1980s, the government evacuated Times Beach completely, bought every property, and shut the entire town down. Every building was demolished, every resident gone. An entire American town erased from the map by an invisible poison. And today, the site is a quiet state park where a town used to be.
So there they are, 10 places wiped off the map, some by water, some by poison, all of them gone. Now I want to hear from you. Which one hits hardest? Team Times Beach, a town killed by something you couldn't even see? Or Team Quabbin, 4 towns voted out of existence overnight? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if there's a lost town near where you live, tell me. It might be the next video. If you made it this far, you're exactly who this channel is for. Subscribe to Untold 10, and I'll see you in the next one.